Good morning, guys. Happy hump day. Hopefully we are feeling good. Hopefully you like my background going on here. I'm kidding on that I'm actually out the house working. I don't know what I'm playing about with things. Clearly the summer holidays is really getting to me. Anyway, happy hump day, guys. Hopefully we have had a lovely sleep, because you probably will just be getting up right now. Now obviously I've done this Fibre presentation, but I hadn't launched it yet, so we just want to talk about fibre. What is it, and how important it is within your diet. Okay, so there are two types of fibre. Also, if you can hear like splashing in the background, which you probably can't, but Leo is in a bath right now. He's not been feeling well this week, and like, he doesn't just go in a bath, he actually swims in the bath. So he is literally slipping and sliding about that bath that I can hear. The joys. Anyway, so there's two types of fibre. We've got the first one, which is a soluble fibre. This helps slow down digestion, controls blood sugars, and also lowers cholesterol. Foods that are soluble fibres are things like oats, apples, seeds like chia, flax seeds, lentils, beans, etc. And then the second one is insoluble fibre, which means that it doesn't dissolve, it just adds to your stools and helps push that stool out regularly, right? So if you're maybe someone who is struggling to go to the toilet, maybe you don't go like consistently, then it could be as simple as, you might not actually have gut issues, you might just be not having enough of the right things. And this is when it is like, over the years, in terms of, there's been so much about like calorie deficit, fat loss, etc. You've just got to eat in a calorie deficit, you've got to move more than what you're consuming, etc. But it's actually more complex than that. And the more that gets unravelled about foods, about nutrition, about your gut, about all of that, the more you actually gain an insight in how important it is to actually understand it's not just about eating less. Especially when it comes to digestion. So sometimes people will maybe be bloated, they'll maybe struggle to pass stools, they'll maybe be a wee bit gassy, but it doesn't actually, there's a lot of things as well right now on social media, like, this person has gut issues, this person has PCOS, this person has, leaky gut or whatever, right? But there's a difference between all of that, and sometimes it's just that you're not incorporating the right foods. You're maybe going for things like that have got artificial sweeteners in it. This is going to take me down a rabbit hole, but like, whereas there's maybe nothing wrong with the gut, it's maybe just we're not including the right things, they're not the right types of fibre to help push that out, to help push the poop out. But like, as I said, nutrition, gut health, it is a massive, massive topic. And I could talk all day about it. Anyway, foods that are insoluble, so foods that are going to add to your stool and help push out the stool, are going to be things like different types of nuts, skin on fruit, skin on vegetables, skin on, see, like kiwis, the kiwi skins are actually very good, skin on potatoes, like apples, pears, all of that that's what I mean by skins. Whole grains, so like, whole grain rice, brown pasta, whole grain bread, wholemeal bread, anything like that. Vegetables like broccoli, peas, spinach, all of that good stuff, okay? Why is fibre important? So fibre helps prevent you from being constipated by being able to regularly pass stool. And I remember speaking with a girl, it was in the gym, it wasn't like about coaching or anything like that. I don't know why we were talking about this, but she had said to me, like, it's normal for her to do the toilet like once or twice a week, but that is not normal. Yes, there could be something wrong with her gut in terms of her gut health, but it could also be that she's actually just not getting enough fibre in there to help push it out. So it doesn't always need to be, what's the saying, like, it's not always overcomplicated. Like, sometimes you just need to focus on the smaller things and they'll make the difference. So fibre also helps keep your gut healthy, and it knocks into things like your blood glucose, i.e. your blood sugar level, and like your cholesterol. It will help satiate hunger as well, so help keeping you feeling fuller for longer. And other health benefits like reducing risks of illnesses, etc. Now, the ideal fibre amount for a female is about 25 to 30 grams of fibre per day. Obviously, if your food is on the higher intake, you might see that above the average target. However, we should all be trying to hit like minimum 25 grams per day. And this is when it is important to, like, instead of having frozen chips for dinner, yes, they might fit your macros, but how much fibre is in them compared to actual potatoes that you could fire in the air fryer, you're going to get so much more fibre from a skin-on potato, like a normal potato, than you are going to get from frozen chips. So this is what I mean, like, yes, you might be able to fit that into your macros and have chips for your dinner, but what you need to think about is where the nutritious value is in that. And it's simple swaps like that will help improve like the inner health. And as I says, like, you know, years ago it was all about, you know, just eating less and moving more, but it's honestly not. And it's always about the small habits that you make. So if you're someone that likes a night out, instead of having a bottle of Prosecco, switch to spirits. If you're someone that has full sugar juice, switch to diet juice. Like, it's always the small changes that will go the mile. You don't have to drastically pull things out your diet or out your day-to-day life, but it's like putting in a better thing. So instead of frozen chips, actually just make chips from actual potatoes. So this will be more important for those who set up their own foods via tracking macros. So if you don't have a meal plan and you macro track, then this is something that I would like you to make sure you're focusing on as well. One good food source, which everyone will love, is popcorn. Popcorn is high in fibre. Things like raspberries, again, high in fibre. Like, these are all good wee snacks that you can incorporate that taste fucking class. So the people who are obviously tracking macros, it's just about making sure the foods that you're choosing to eat is also going to hit that target. So it's actually not just about overall calories and, you know, whatever phase you are in. So to conclude, if you are macro tracking, I want you to start focusing on that fibre target, especially if you're someone that doesn't poo frequently and you maybe have some sort of digestion issues, bloating, etc. It's honestly maybe just tuning into finer details that will make the difference. Start to add things that are small, so don't be like, oh my god, my fiber's at 10 grams, like, oh my god, I need to change my food. Like, just take a step back. It's adding simple things like 5 grams of chia seeds. That'll help boost it up. Add it to your yogurt, add it to your oat bowl. Chia seeds are actually also good in warm water, so you could have, like, I know that sounds weird, right, but having like a cup of that in the morning, these kind of things. Adding nuts to, say, with your lunch, adding a handful of nuts. Instead of just having a bowl of strawberries, add some raspberries in there. Instead of having crisps, have popcorn. And it's these wee gradual swaps. Or it is switching up your veggies. If you're someone that has bread, change it to wholemeal bread. Same with rice. If you're someone that has white rice and your fiber's low, then have brown rice or wholemeal rice. These wee things make the big difference. Adding in fruits with skin on them, apples, pears, kiwis, mangoes. And then nuts at the side of the meal or within the meal. Also, slowing down your eating can help from feeling bloated and uncomfortable. This is something that I need to do because I am like, whoop, whilst the meal is gone. But this is just obviously a wee topic around fibre and how important it is. As I says, like, it's honestly just tuning into finer details, making these small wee switches, but it's also making you aware that it's not just about moving more and eating less, and that's something that I think society needs to learn. But any questions around this, guys, let me know, and happy for good Wednesday!